Welcome back to Project Ozone 2, and it's time, I think, to start sorting out singularities. Just before we get to that, though, I just want to take a look at this system. It's now up and running. I've put a second recipe in, and I'll do that with further ones. Notice that I don't need to put another row with all the same ingredients in, only the unique ingredients, because everything is connected to a single chest over there now with the interface. So all this one and this one, for instance, are common. That's common. So I don't need to actually do this more than once because they're all outputting into the same chest. However, this is for things like the rune of, what is it we did last time? Rune of Earth, Rune of Water. I'm going to do the Rune of Fire next. And that needs a few things. These are again common. Gunpowder we've got loads of. Nether brick I'll need to craft, and nether water, again, we'll just use EMC for those to make large quantities. But the important point here is that when you do a product, so let's say Rune of Winter, which uses up water and earth, I'm not going to want to put them into the same portal. I'm going to set up another parallel thing here that goes to the other runic altar, because we don't want things to get mixed up with it trying to craft a Rune of Water at the same time it's trying to craft a Rune of Winter, and it's going to get interfered with on the same table. Again, if I output them from the same interface. So I may do as a separate interface and some other kind of network if I need to. Otherwise, as long as I remember to only craft one type of rune at once, or have enough ingredients in for the next type, I don't have to worry about it. The crafting for the runes, to be honest, is far, far slower than my management of it. So, I've told it to craft 100 runes of water, and you'll see it's mainly it's the fishing rods that are actually consuming up all the space. I may well swap this to a diamond chest or something along those lines, just so that it has more capacity. We could do more than that. We could do other things like put multiple chests in, but no need to worry about it. It's working, and it will craft everything we need. Now, one of the first things you need to craft next is a neutronium compressor. Now, this uses up all these neutronium large plates. Each of these take 8 neutronium ingots. That takes 9. This takes, I want to say, another 8. It's a tough rod, not a tool rod. I can't remember exactly how many, but the fact of the matter is you need a lot of neutronium. A couple of stacks at least. I've got another couple of stacks, so I guess I could make another one. And in fact, I can now craft them. So if I say, craft me another 130, how many do you need? You need 10,000 for 130. And we've only got 2,000. So we can probably make another 20. Yeah. And it'll happily make those next 20. So yeah, I can make more than one neutronium compressor. However, in this case, we probably won't need to. We're going to need a few things from the system. We're going to need some acceleration cards, that much is for certain. So let's just grab a few of those. 4 should be fine. I'll just grab 5. We're going to need an export bus. And we don't have one, so let's craft one. In fact, let's just craft a couple. Okay, and we're going to need, I've got some item translocators. They're pretty fast. Do we need anything else? No, I'm not sure if these take power. Let's just grab it. Are you getting me some kind of achievement? No? Oh, well. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's an input bus. Our export buses are all over here. I've got 3, 4, 5, so I've got room for some more. Okay, that's fine. So let's just grab this and let's put in our bus. We need some cable, that much is for certain. Let's go for some smart cable. Just craft me 100, please. Not going to need very many at all, though, just to hook this up. I have slowed down my flight somewhat, so hopefully I won't be flying too far all over the place. Let's just grab the two of you, and let's put in our export bus. Now, our export bus is going to be nether stars. So I'm going to need at least one, aren't I? Nether star. We've got 664,000. That's going to change very shortly. So in here, we put in a nether star and acceleration cards. So whatever's on top of this is going to get a lot of nether stars quite quickly, which is going to be one of our Mark II. Let's see if I can craft them. Not craft them, grab them. One of our Mark II condensers. And with the condenser in place, we've now got lots of nether stars ready. Okay, the next part is going to be, let me just pop down the compressor here, to be honest. All right. And it's not doing anything at the moment. Good. Not sure if it needs power. If it does, we'll just put a tesseract on it. And let's put our item translocators here and here, and it's going this way. Good. And I want my glowstone dust upgrade. I'm not sure if it needs to go both sides, but I'll go on both sides anyway. And then we just need to nominate what it builds. Block of iron. Okay. Now, what we're actually going to be making, or at least heading towards, because I don't want to put this all on camera, is eternal singularities. We're going to need a stack of 64 just to make sure we get a stack of catalysts. So in order to do that, we're going to need 64 of each of these. So a stack of this. All right. It's saying it needs 50,000 blocks of iron for one. Okay, so there's going to be lots of blocks of iron. If you have that much iron in your system, feel free to just export it directly into here. In my case, I don't. So let's just go, shall we? Why aren't you going? Why aren't you going? Do I need to hit it with something else? And of course, the answer was that you can only output from one side. So you can input any, probably any side for the chest, apart from the bottom. But you have to output from the bottom for... Did I say input? Yeah, input any side. Apart from the bottom will output. So just set this up. It's exactly the same way. And it will dump into a neutronium compressor that's making iron singularities. Now, of course, it pays to have more of these, but I think I can craft one more. Let's just take a look at our system. It's crafted 2 so far. So we're on 663 nether stars. Is that enough to deplete our nether stars? To be honest, only very slowly. If it is, yeah, it is depleting, but only very slowly, because our nether star farm in the last millennium is just processing so fast. So we can just leave this running now, and you know, I can just change block every time I want to change over. We want eternal singularity. Yeah, so I can just change over to gold, lapis, redstone. Is any of these, I wonder, not EMCable? That would be a problem if it were. Emerald. Emerald is EMCable, but that's the same. That's the same as nether stars, so that might be painful, or at least it leaves a lot of nether stars. Enderium isn't even that much. Luminum signalum, shining mana. If we had more, neutronium compressors, I could just feed in the farms and add more farms, and that would do the job. Yeah. Plutonium hopefully is. Yeah. Titanium, cyanite, eulorium, cyanite hopefully is. Yeah. So all of this stuff is stuff that we either have, like blocks of electrotine we can craft and export, because I've got loads of electrotine. Flux electrum, that's EMCable. And so is manulin. So we can craft up that eternal singularity. I'm not going to mention any more other than the final craft, because it's going to take time and there's nothing interesting about it. Once you set one of these things up, it's exactly the same. Okay, so moving on. Is that still crafting runes of water? Let's see what runes it's up to now. Rune. Yeah, it's up to 152 water. Have you still got components in here, or are you finished? Oh no, I've got a magnet. Ah! Go in. Turn off your magnet before going near this thing. It's down to 23 left. Okay. That's okay. So, moving on. One other quick point. I don't want it to run out of mana at any stage of the operation. So, let's just head downstairs again. Yep. So, it's full at the moment. I think it's maybe finished crafting. I put these around. I couldn't be bothered doing anything else for that. Yeah, it's just crafting the final one now. So let's just put down some mana pools, and it shouldn't matter the distance, but we can put them down here, I suppose. 10. Yep. And then we're going to need my mana tablet, aren't we? I think I put it in the system. Did I? Oh, it's in the chest. We've just got a little chest over here for Botania stuff. Yeah, there we go. Let's head down. We're going to need a little bit just to start this off. I may have to recharge this tablet soon, but that's okay. There we go. And then just blacker lotuses for the rest. It's actually finished. It's empty now, but we don't need it anymore, so that's okay. It's some blacker lotuses. Oh, I've got some in my inventory. Okay. So, and we can just do this until they're full. Assuming they are full, however, and we can do that later. Put some sparks down on them. Okay, and then we can craft these, the augments. This recessive one means that they will basically give all of their mana away to nearby pools. At the moment, this is balancing because they don't all have recessive. So let's just put that in place. Okay, and hopefully now, once that needs mana, they will then fill. I can, yeah, I'm going to need more. They've given all of their mana away, and that's the downside, but with 10 mana pools, we should be able to do pretty much everything we need from now on. And hopefully you can see that in operation now. Put a spark on this one, and whenever it needs it, it's getting mana straight away. That's not depleting, even though it's actually crafting, which is good. They're all full-ish. And sharing stuff to this. You can't see really bursts of it just because it's sharing a small amount per craft, but otherwise it's crafting once every 8 seconds, I think, which is pretty fast now. I've just sped everything up. Yeah, so the whole thing's working as long as I don't mix up components. And another very quick item, I upgraded this. I decided not to use these plates anymore. I thought, let's see if we can get transfer nodes to increase. Just as a quick test, I put in a stack upgrades. I know they're probably not all useful, but that's fine. Lots of speed upgrades. It's only one block away, so it should be pretty fast. It is pretty fast. It is going up quite substantially quickly. However, I did have to increase the number of export buses up here because this just was not fast enough with gold. It was just using it up like crazy. Gold is 18,000 EMC. Block of iron is 2,000. So yeah, you needed 9 times more EMC to actually get this running. So we needed much more supply of nether stars. I have increased the number of nether star farms 3x3 in the last millennium to 3 farms. So that's 27 awakened draconium. And this is still going to be draining our supply of nether stars pretty quickly. However, I did get a full stack of iron singularities, so that's good. We can go and craft the rest. Let me just put those in place. Whoa, a long way to go. But again, none of that more on camera. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, and I just want to quickly show you that. I did craft 2 item frames with snow in it. According to the online wiki, you can rotate these to request 1, 2, 4, 8, etc. No, that doesn't work. In this version of Minecraft, if you do that, they'll rotate to 16 or 32 or one of those. So that will just flood your runic altar, so don't do it. Just put 2, if you need 2 snow for one recipe, which you do for some of them, put 2 separate item frames down. Next, we're going to be moving on to, well, some witchy stuff, shall we say. I've got a fluid tank. I've got a bedrockium drum. I'm going to need some ender fluid. Conduit. Just grab a couple. And now I'm going to need to put everything together. So on a fluid tank, let's just put it down here for argument's sake. On top of that, we're going to have an ender fluid conduit. It appears. On top of that, we're going to have a bedrockium drum. And on top of that, we're going to have an ender tank. Empty at the moment. Over in the last millennium, I've just set up a witch water cow, and that's going to produce witch water into this, which is then going to export automatically into this. And you probably know what I'm going to do now, or hopefully you do. There we go, we got some witch water. We're going to import buckets into this, into something, which is going to craft, and then we're going to put buckets back into here. So what we actually need is, I think it's called tainted soil. Yep, there it is. So if we input dirt around a witch water bucket, then we can get tainted soil. You can get some tainted soil by sieving ex nihilo soul sand, and of course we can EMC the soul sand. So if you wanted to, you could get it that way, but this way I get an extra source of it. It depends how fast that soul sand is going to come through. I'm going to set that up in parallel, and we're going to sieve both the tainted soil and the soul sand, and we're going to get in seeds out of it. So here we are with the witch water setup. We've got the cows coming in from the last millennium, coming into this witch water bedrockium drum. It's going into this fluid tank. So we've got buckets coming in here, and they are just a few buckets. You don't even need an import from your system. And then that's being pulled into this crafter. The crafter is configured to make tainted soil from witch water buckets and dirt. The dirt is coming from an energy condenser, which you just put a few nether stars in. Dirt is extremely cheap. And then that is being pushed into our system. We're getting tainted soil that way. Also, while we're at it, we're also going to want soul sand. Again, the same method as that. Just a few nether stars should do it, at least to get it started. We can always refill it if we need to. But yeah, if we have a look at how many soul sand that generated, 171,000 from one stack of nether stars, if I remember rightly, or at least a few. So not much of a problem. And on here as well, we got topiary grass, which is the other thing we're going to sieve. I'm going to set up the first two, but I'm not going to show the topiary grass on camera, but yeah, we are going to sieve it. And this runs so fast with the upgrades, I had to put in a separate import. So you can put in multiple ender chests, all the same inventory, remember. So I have multiple import buses, each with a couple of capacity, a couple of acceleration cards, and that seems to be keeping up quite quickly. And you can just scale that as much as you like. You can just put more import buses and make sure that that inventory is emptied as quick as possible. So speaking of sieves, let's go and set those up over here in the last millennium. I will need a couple of more ender chests because I'm not going to worry too much about them. Ender chests, 2 of, straight into the input of our system. And then let's just put them here for now. And we're going to want to sieve into them. Let's just separate them actually. There we go. Sieve. There we go. So let's put them in place. And then just as before, put some item conduits in here. On top of those, let's put some automatic sieves. And 2. And then let's put a full stack of speed upgrades in each one. We're not going to want to wait for these at all. And then on top of those, we're going to need to feed them. So we're going to need to set up some exports from the system, which should be straightforward. Let me go and handle that. Okay, so let's just put down a couple of export buses, and let's just speed them up as well. Not that it's going to need speed for the tainted one, but that doesn't matter too much. One's going to export soul sand, the other one's going to export tainted soil. And then I'm going to want to set up the ender chest, so let's just grab a couple more. As you can see, I much favour ender chests for cross-dimensional stuff than I do any of the other solutions that are available. Things like linking up the AE system into other dimensions, I prefer to do it this way. So purple, and then cocoa. Does that give me brown? It does. So let's just grab one of you. Which one is you? You're the soul sand, so you get the brown exporter and you get the purple one. Let's go and put you down. You're exporting soul sand, you are now exporting tainted soil. Let's grab both of you. I'll prepare the floor later. Let's head back to the last millennium. Okay, and then we can just pop down our where do we want these? Because I need to put power into them, so I'm just going to go vertically up. Grab a couple of item conduits and we'll get some more speed upgrades so that none of these systems get backstuffed by anything. We want, doesn't really matter which way around we do these, to be honest, so let's just put you there and you there. Configure these to always extract. Yep, always extract, and then just configure these to input, and they should be ready, or at least they should be filling. Yep, they're filling up, so they just need some power now. We've got some dimensional transceivers, so let's just put one there. So we separated things. And they're now running at full speed and inputting the they're exports into our system. So one's soul sand, the other one, oh no, it's not exporting yet because I've not configured the bottom. Let's just grab the U, set U to ores extract, set U to ores extract, and then set U to input and input. And then do we have enough item conduit speed upgrades? I've got 34. Is it backstuffing? I'd say not. But that could do with increasing in speed. So let's just put some more in there. Some more in there. At this point, you know, they're pretty much free. So we can do all of this. Yeah, we've got plenty. Okay, so let's just grab all of these. Pop them in place in these bottom ones. They go into the extraction, remember, not the input side. There we go, and now everything should be as fast as you can get it without putting multiple sieves in place. So the tainted soil is the one that's going to produce all the various different saplings. They're going to produce everything we need. It will use up all the tainted soil pretty quickly because this single cow that I've put over here, yeah, he's, well, she, it's a milking cow. Let's not discuss let's discuss a male milking cow. Yeah, you know, that's coming out just fine. But, yeah, so to speak, I'm going to stop now. Back home, back home. So with each of these saplings now, I'm going to be able to put them somewhere. Let's just pop them one down, say there. And will bone meal bags work on it, or just regular bone meal, or do I have to just do this? Have I got particles on? I do. Let's just try bone meal. Let's see if there's any difference. Bone meal. Because it certainly didn't use up anything of our bone meal bags when I clicked it, so let's try bone meal. That appears to be working. And we can grab a cherry straight away. Once we have one, I can EMC those into plots. Although in my case, I'm only going to produce a few stacks. I'm not going to be too worried about. Yeah, there we go. So a few stacks. I can put it into my die crafting table. I'm not going to worry too much about auto crafting all of these. I will do that when I can get a decent source of neutronium and a decent source of other blocks like awakened draconium. We can scale up the nether stars as we need to. So just to get this out of the way, let's just have a quick look at what we've got left. Ultimate stew. The ones I put in first were all in the normal Minecraft stuff. Everything else from here is nature or Pam's Harvest Craft. So a lot of those I'm going to get from the system. Some I may already have, like turnips, but others I'm not going to have. So I'm going to do that between the episodes. All that is quite laborious, and there's nothing really I can do in there. So let's, well, nothing I want to do on camera. It's just boring. So yeah, this is working very, very well now. Although why it's depleting from one at the back rather than sharing among each of these. Maybe it just selects one rather than sharing. So yeah, not quite sure. I'll have to figure that one out. This system is working very well. Other than, of course, it takes up a lot of space, but it is much simpler than figuring out electronics, so I like simple. Yeah. Now, one of the things I actually want here, I need my cleaver. Unfortunately, I can't use this. Can I use that? No, it doesn't have beheading. Yeah. So I need beheading because I need this last section of the episode. I'm going to just go and improve our power situation. To do that, the easiest and most scalable thing at the moment is nether star generators. They need a few things. They need unstable ingot blocks. We'll get to those. But we can make those, thankfully, using the Mobius recipe, which is good. I don't have to go and do the other ritual yet. We need furnaces, nether stars, and wither skeleton skulls. And they're not EMCable. Neither is the unstable block, but everything else pretty much is. So, in order to do that, the mob drop system down here does generate a lot of different mob souls. Some are skeletons, right there. And I guess occasionally they will be with a skeleton if we put this in the nether, but they also drop with the skeleton souls. So I think we can just use those directly. And how many villager souls have we got? Because I haven't left this on, just 55. I'm going to need to put the villagers back on. I will do that after the episode. I don't want the noise. So I have then put one of those into a stabilized spawner, and similar to before, I can teleport everything through here just by using this, including RXP. But if I want wither skeletons to spawn, I guess I can. Let's just put you here for a minute. I need the skulls, so only problem with this is just the sheer amount of loot that's going to get created. I don't want the loot. The only thing I want is the heads. So what I may well do is set up some kind of vacuum chest system that'll reject everything. But let's do that actually. Trash can. Trash can. The regular one. Yeah, one of. Let's grab some. I need a vacuum. Ooh, vacuum chest. No, let's just get a vacuum hopper. Yeah, and then some item conduits. Where are you? Do I have any? Yeah, there we are. Item conduit. Let me just grab this. So let's say this block here. Get rid of this. Item. Well, put the vacuum hopper in first. And then we're going to want to say. Weird. It's the speed again. Okay, I'm not going to question it. So, trash can, and then we're going to put an item conduit on here, and then let's say another one that says we want an ender chest into our main system. Doesn't have to be, but this is just easier. Insert priorities -1, so it's going to try this first, and then we're going to want a filter of some kind. Just a regular one should do us. Filter, yep. And put that in. So it's going to put everything in here except, in fact, let's blacklist one thing. Let's blacklist heads. So everything else is going to get dumped into here. I'm not interested in any of the other loot, so let's turn off our magnet for sure. Otherwise, things will not do too well. And what we could also do is deal with the XP. I think I have an ender tank. I'm not sure if I've got any around. Ender tank. Do I have one? I think it's lime. So let's just get lime dye. That should do. Let's pop this one down, and we're gonna have, say, lime. I think that is the XP inventory. We're soon going to find out. And then I'm going to want to route stuff into it, and I'm not sure if I can do this on the same side. I think the vacuum hopper itself is going to object, so let's just get rid of that for the moment, and then say we want the XP output. Let's turn off NEI to the top, and we want the item output this way. So we can then attach the items, extract all, and let's just put some speed upgrades in there. Not that it should need it, but item speed, item conduit speed. Ah, my fingers. Conduit speed, there we go. Upgraded. And I think that's pretty much it. Is that set to always active? It is. So then I just need the fluid, and that should be straightforward as well. Fluid conduit. Type it correctly this time, and it should be fine. So let's just put you in here. Set you to always extract. And then this side we can set to insert, and that should be done. Okay, so let's turn this on. Let's see just how, well, it's already upgraded fully, so we will see. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to have to get more nether stars. Well, not nether stars, sorry, more wither skeleton skulls. So I'll see you in a few minutes once I've finished unclicking a few of these. They're all getting dragged into the system, and hopefully, well, in fact, let's just go and double check to make sure I'm not... I'm going to have to get rid of him somehow. Figure that out later. How many skulls have we got in there? Wither. Oops, wither. Yep, they're getting imported just fine. I've got 43. So what am I going to actually want to make? I'm going to want a nether star generator. They're all just looking at me. It's really distracting. Nether star generator. Okay, so we're going to need 4 per. And then I'm going to want a 8 times. So obviously 4 times 8, 32. And then I'm going to need 8 more. So yes, so I'm going to need quite a few. I'm going to need 4 stacks, in fact. So 4 stacks, 256, 256 of those. I'll see in a few. All right, that task is pretty much done now. Let's have a look with a... Yeah, I've got 300 of the things. That should do us just fine for at least the first generator like this. I'm not sure if I'm going to need more, but yeah, let's have a look. So that needs some unstable ingots. Let's get to that in a moment. I'm also going to need, for the 8 times, some of the transfer node energies. Now, they're going to need breadth first, transfer nodes, and gold. So let's just get that crafting because they're going to be done in the background. Gold is easy. Let's just have a look. Transfer node. Do I have any in? I do. Okay, so let's just make up a few of these. This is the wrong side. I need over here. There's my other exporter that is actually making things. It's finished redstones. That is good. Let's just craft a few things here. So transfer nodes second. Let's do this first. Let's get just a few of those. And some transfer nodes. They're always useful. So we can make some of those as well. Let's go and stick this in our QED. And you can see what I was making. Let's just change this out, put these in, then I can withdraw the rest. There we go. So gold, 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 and then transfer node. Really wish this would be automatable. I know it's an explicit choice that it's not, but I don't quite like it. So it's fine, but yeah, it's just not very good. And compared to the rest of Minecraft, which is pretty much automatable. So, right, we needed the unstable ingots, didn't we? So we can make the divide by diamond ones unstable. Have I made a recipe for those yet? No, it needs to be made with, let's say, semi-stable nugget, semi-stable. I think it's just diamonds and golden nuggets with the division sigil. Can that actually be crafted? I wonder, semi-stable. I know the unstable ones have to be crafted in the vanilla crafting table, but if these don't need to be, then I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Just do this, get this system to craft them, and then once we have semi-stable, we can just tell it to craft a nugget. Yeah, grab that, and then we can just use the unstable to be able to craft a block. And grab that pattern. Put these into one of our molecular assemblers. And then we can just tell it to craft. How many blocks are we going to need? It's going to be, let's have a look, Nether Star. Generators. So let me grab, I'm going to need 1 for each one of these. So I'm going to need a stack, let's say. So a stack of furnaces, stack of nether stars, unstable block. Craft me 64, please. Calculating. Shouldn't take it that long to calculate. Guess it is. It's going to be slow though, because I think I'm going to have I do have a few. It thinks it's going to use those up, and they're not. They're not going to be used up, so I don't think we can do that. I'm not sure if there's any way of telling it that, hey, it's fine, just go ahead, it'll be okay. So I guess I'm going to have to craft these manually. All right, gold nuggets. And we want the division sigil. Just one of, that's fine. They've got a certain number of uses, so let's just use that one. And then diamonds. Put the rest of this stuff away. Grab some diamonds. And I'll craft these up and be right back. So without doing the ritual, I am actually got the extended ritual. I am going to actually run out of these quite quickly. So I will just craft maybe 4 of the 8 times Nether Star generators rather than the 64 times. That should be possible, I think. How much further do I need to go? Whoops, 32. I need 300 more, so another division sigil should do it, I think. Or maybe 2 more. Let's just grab view. Okay, because they do have 256 uses each. So 4 stacks should do it just fine. Let's just craft here the unstable. 32 of them. And it's going to go and craft because I've taken the recipe out for the unstable nuggets, the semi-stable nuggets. So, yeah, we're going to do that. 32. All right. And then the Nether Star generators. So it needs furnaces. I almost remember that. In fact, let's just see if it'll shift click in. Nether Star generators. Will you shift click in? You need furnaces. Okay, furnace. Need the original kind, which I'm just going to go an EMC up into full stacks of the things. I just don't know how many compressed cobble there is, so that's all good. Okay, and then we should be able to make them. Nether Star generators. All right, how many will it make? 32 exactly. Fine. The times 8 ones, we'll take 8 of them, so that's going to divide it by 4. And we need the transfer node energies, which should have finished crafting up now. They don't take very long in the QED now that I've got so many Enderflux crystals around it. Got a full stack of those. There we go. Let's pop that down. And we should be finished. Just pop this into the middle. These are on the outside. And we can make 4 Nether Star generator times 8. Great, so I am going to need a couple more things. We're going to need an ender chest to export Nether Stars. I haven't set one up yet, but let's just get Dandelion or something like that. A couple of you. Ender chests. And then we're going to need to import this back into the system somehow, so a transceiver array will be fine. I'm just going to put 4 of them. I don't know how much, exactly how much RF they're going to output, so having unlimited output from them would be pretty good. And I want my angel block because I'm not going to do this anywhere near where I'm standing. And I'm going to need a chunk loader as well, just in case. Got a couple anyway, so let's go and put our angel block down somewhere within range. Here's fine, doesn't have to be anywhere specific. And then just some blocks. It doesn't really matter what I make this out of, so let's just put in some of these. I'll replace this later. There we go. All right, so then we just pop down our Nether Star generators. We're going to feed into them some Nether Stars. Now, they reduce, the times 64 takes a Nether Star every 2 seconds. So these should be slower than that by far. So if I pop down an ender chest now to here, let's just change that across to use a color. Will do. I can't get even whiter than this, otherwise I would for the Nether Stars. And automatic extract, and each of these can be automatic inputs. Insert, 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 insert. Okay, and on this side we can just pop down our transceivers. And we can configure these just to send energy to main power in. And that's the same thing here, main power in, send. And lastly, main power in, send. Okay, so they should send power once these start receiving Nether Stars. So all I need to do is hook up this to the system, I think, and we'll be up and running. So let's go and get to the export side of everything. This is my input side, this is my export side, and I've built another thing on this. Little area here. Let's just grab some smart cable and an export bus. I don't think I'm going to need the speed upgrades to this, but just because we're doing that anyway, we may as well just get some acceleration cards and some export buses. Just make a couple. Not that we should need them. And where's my cable first? That might help. Cable, export bus. We're going to put the acceleration cards in and then grab one Nether star from our system. Now, I'm not going to bother controlling this too much. You can set this to turn it off if you wanted to, just by cutting off the supplied Nether stars. But remember, we've got quite a large buffer in a chest, so you could have a mini chest of some kind, I guess, as an intermediary, or some other way of rationing, like a hyper rationing pipe or something from extra utilities. I'm not going to bother. We just have so many Nether stars at the moment that it just really doesn't matter for me. You make your own decisions, or if you're following along. And now let's just not that angel block, the end chest. Let me just configure it first before I accidentally start an infinite loop. Let's pop you in, and I want that to go away again. I'm not going to need it for a while. All right, there it goes. So I'm going to get near this, and let's see if it actually starts damaging me. Yeah. Are you on? Ah, yes, you're on. Okay, so I just need to chunk load this. In we go. There we go, it's chunk loaded. Obviously, I've got draconic armor on, but you can still see at the very bottom right, yeah, I'm still taking damage. I think there may be some items that you can avoid the damage by, but it's not needed. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We've got expanded power setup going. We've got our finalizer rune setup working just fine. Excuse me. We've got witch water. We've got automatic soul sand and automatic... well, once this actually gets me more witch water buckets, I get more tainted soil. So we've got everything running, and I should be able to get in short order all the Natura seeds I need. Obviously, I'll do that between the episodes, and next episode we'll come back and see, hopefully, a stack of completed Ultimate Stew. So, if you like this, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hope to see you next episode, and thanks for watching.